Welcome to our virtual worlds. We're so glad to be here with you at the 24th edition of the California Green Building Conference. And this year we're going to be presenting the Casa Atlas. The Casa Atlas is a net positive home that has all of the necessary systems integrated into it in order to achieve self-sufficiency. The first aspect we can look at are the materials. Now, depending on the materials available and the climate, we'll be choosing a different type of building technique. But we're making sure that these building techniques are within the International Residential Code. Now, that can be cob, light straw clay, straw bale, hemp lime, stabilized compressed earth blocks. The most important is that the variety of thermal mass and insulation work best in order to achieve a passive heating and cooling design. But all of these building materials have been tested for their seismic resistance and their fire resistance, because we want to make sure that the Casa Atlas is 100% fire resistant. Now, once we enter the house, we can start noticing these different icons which are in different places. Each one of these icons represents a different system. Now, just to keep this video brief, we're only going to be concentrating on the specific systems that have to do with a fire situation. Now, the first thing we want to make sure, if the grid goes down or there's an issue, we want to make sure that we have electricity. So let's start clicking here. The house runs on clean energy from solar panels and a wind turbine. They generate all the electricity needed for the household, and any extra power is stored in batteries. That way, the home always has electricity, day or night. Now, normally all of our passive design makes sure that all of the air systems work through convection and therefore don't need any electricity. But for this specific system, we want to make sure that we have electricity in order to work a fan. So let's see how this would work in the case of a fire. If there's a fire outside or the air quality is poor, a recirculation vent is activated. Air from the top of the house is drawn down through an underground pipe to cool it, then passes through a filter before being returned indoors, keeping the air safe and comfortable. Now we know that we have clean and cool air that we're able to breathe. Let's look at our next system. This time we're thinking of water. In a lot of cases, when the power grid goes down, the water is not available. So let's see this one. Rainwater is collected from the roof and filtered to remove impurities. It's then stored in tanks both above and below ground. This ensures there's always enough clean water to supply the house's amenities throughout the year. Besides its other uses, we also have a pump within the tank which is connected to different sprinklers around the house. In the case of a fire, this is going to diminish the radiative heating through evapotranspiration. Now, on top of this, we also want to make sure that all of the vegetation in the garden can also be a fire retardant. All grey water from the house is first filtered through a bioreactor. Some of this clean water is used to flush the toilets, while the rest irrigates our edible garden. This way, we safely recycle water to grow fresh food and reduce waste. And in terms of water, last but not least, we have a natural swimming pool. Now, this is wonderful to be able to use the rest of the time, but it also has an extra purpose. A natural swimming pool keeps its water clean by constantly recirculating it through plants with no toxic chemicals needed. In case of emergency, water from the pool can also be used by firefighters.